Good morning, Frontline. It's good to be with you guys again.
Good morning.
Hope you are all well. We are going to be reading from Jeremiah today, Jeremiah 1, verse 4 to 10. Now the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. Then I said, Ah, Lord, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. But the Lord said to me, Do not say, I am only a youth. For to all whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord put out his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said to me, Behold, I have put my words in your mouth. See, I have set you this day over nations and over kingdoms, to pluck up and to break down, to destroy and to overthrow, to build and to plant.
So these are some pretty inspirational verses, and we look at this and we see that it's very much in the Old Testament, but I think that it has a lot of application for ourselves today. In the first section we see Jeremiah, the Lord speaking to Jeremiah and saying that he knew him before he was born, and that he was consecrated unto him while he was still in his mother's womb. If we remember, Jeremiah was from the priestly line, so this is true. All the children, that's how the priesthood worked. If you were born into the priesthood. So God is reminding him of his spiritual inheritance, also his inheritance. But we have a spiritual inheritance. We too have been named in the priesthood of God. So like Jeremiah, we have been consecrated through Christ into the priesthood and are servants of God. And then next it says, I'm only a youth. And God says, whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you. And so I think that often we as Christians can be afraid. We say, I'm not a pastor, I can't share the gospel, I don't know the word that well, maybe. But God says, I have given you words to speak. I will send you places. So we have to remember that as priests, as those consecrated to God, God chooses where he sends us sometimes and makes divine appointments for us. And if we open our mouth and speak, he will anoint our words. And that also we can trust him to protect us. I think we see throughout biblical history, these words God speaks to those that he sets apart. Every major character has this similar conversation with God, and God says to him, don't worry, I've chosen you, I will protect you. But he never promises it's going to be easy. And I think that's also true. So as we go out and we speak what God puts in our mouths to speak, and we obey his leading, he will deliver us. And he gives us his Holy Spirit. He never leaves us alone. So I think that is a powerful truth that we can learn from this passage.
Yeah, the verse 5, it says, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And that reminds me of when the psalmist talks about how God formed him and knitted him together in his mother's womb. And when that comes to mind, it makes me makes you realize just how deeply God knows us. He knew us before we were created. He formed every part of our being, every part of our personality, every part of who we are. He formed in our mother's womb, and he knows what we are capable of. And I think that just like Jeremiah, it's easy to instinctively write ourselves off and say, no, I'm not capable of that. I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm not qualified, I haven't been to seminary, I haven't been to whatever it could be. But God knows you, and he knows me, and he knows us, and he's calling us for a specific thing, for a specific purpose. And he knows what we are capable of, and he knows that he is greater than all things. And so all we need is him, because he will touch our mouth and give us the word we need. He will give us what we need for what he is calling us to do. And there's a learning process too. There's a time of learning and a time of figuring things out as well. It's not always just a simple, he touches your mouth and you learn how to speak a foreign language. That would be nice, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. But like Nate said, he is with us and equipping us to do what he is calling us to do.
Yep, so thanks guys for sharing the word with us, sharing this time with us. Praying for you guys. Blessings.
Be blessed and be bold.